Hello. I feel so good today. I feel really good. You guys probably can't even hear me because the way the phone has to sit, I think the speaker is being covered. So, I'm not too good with this. Hello. All right. So, one thing I was thinking about was Isaiah 53, and how nobody touches it, so I'm gonna touch it. But first, before I go there, before I go anywhere, I'm gonna go to Yah and pray first. Dear Yah, thank you so much for today. Thank you for everything. Pray that you'll constantly be with me, guide me as I bring forth this word. Thank you for everything. Thank you for just being here. Send your Ruach always. Keep your Ruach with me. Hallelujah. Okay, so Moses in Deuteronomy 34. Moses and Yah. Okay, so Deuteronomy 34. Moses went up from the steppes of Moab to Mount Nebo to the summit of Pisgah, opposite of Jericho, and Yah showed him the whole land, Gilead as far as Dan, all Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, the whole land of Judah as far as the western sea, the Negeb and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. And Yah said to him, this is the land of which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will assign it to your offspring. I have let you see it with your own eyes, but you shall not cross it. So he was able to see it, but he couldn't cross it. It was something that was inherited to his children, but not to him. This is Yah telling Moses this. So Moses, the servant of Yah, died there in the land of Moab at the command of Yah. Remember I told you guys that, he wasn't even buried among his people. Yah buried him in the valley in the land of Moab near Beth Peor, and no one knows his burial place to this day. So he wasn't even buried by his family. He was buried by Yah, because nobody knows where he was at, where he's, that's sad. Nobody can even visit. Nobody could, nothing. Nobody can bring other family members there when they died, like how Abraham had that cave. I think Jacob also buried his wife, one of his wives, Rebecca, in the cave that Abraham had purchased. Okay, so Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were undimmed, his vigor unabated. Meaning he still looked good, he still was healthy. There's nothing wrong with him. It was just, Yah was like, it's time for you to go. And all the Israelites bewailed Moses in the steppes of Moab for 30 days. So yeah, they wailed him for 30 days. The period of wailing and mourning for Moses came to an end. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom. Not no Holy Spirit. The spirit of wisdom was filled with the spirit of wisdom, because Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the Israelites heeded him, doing as Yah commanded Moses. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom Yah singled out face to face. Never again. This is Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 10. We know what all Moses did. He parted the sea. He hit the rock out of anger. Water came out. He wasn't supposed to hit it. He pleaded on behalf of the people to the Most High. Pleaded to the Most High on behalf of the people. He didn't get to go in the land because of everything that our ancestors had done, all the whining and complaining, and how much Moses kept standing up for them and saying, "Yeah, no, please, no, 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 no," not realizing that he too was among the people, the older generation that Yah said would never see the land. He too was among them. And it's like, Yah could have singled him out like Khalid. It just wasn't in the cards. Okay, so Deuteronomy chapter 34 verse 10. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom Yah singled out face to face. So no other prophet was singled out by Yah face to face. Face to face. Even as Jesus' character, when he was asked after he died, and his auntie, remember I told y'all, his auntie was like, "Have you been to see the Father?" Oh, he was like, "Oh, not yet. I got a couple of more things I need to do." This is after he died. He had to go to Galilee, and everybody had to meet up and all this other stuff, consulting with the dead. Anyway, so 11. For the various, okay, let's read it from 10 again. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom Yah singled out face to face, for the various signs important that Yah sent him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country. So, remember there was a time where Pharaoh had his magicians that would do a lot of the things that Yah would do to make them feel better about what was happening, even though they couldn't stop it. You know, the water was being turned into blood. They turned the little bowl of water to blood. It was like, this is all, you know, magic. This ain't nothing. This is what they did to make themselves feel better about what was happening. And there were certain things that they couldn't reenact, you know, like even with the stick that, the staff that Moses had that turned into a snake. They turned around and turned stick, I think it was 3 sticks or 2 sticks, I don't know. They turned it into a serpent as well. And the only thing is that Moses's serpent swallowed up the rest and then turned back into a stick again, a staff. So yeah, I'm gonna read it again. Deuteronomy 34 verse 10. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom Yah singled out face to face for the various signs important Yah sent him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all Israel. So right there it goes. It says it, and Yah says it. He gave nobody else the power to even do the things that Moses done. No one else. He gave no one else the power to do any of the signs and wonders but Moses. So now let's go to Isaiah. Yah, guide me as I go to Isaiah. So when we go to Isaiah, right, and you start to read, you got to remember this is a book. When you pick up a book and you open it in the middle of the book and you start reading it, you can become confused. You have a better chance at opening it at the end and reading it backwards to have more understanding than you would smack dead in the middle trying to read the book. So with that being said, when you're reading Isaiah, make sure you go to where it starts, where the whole topic of conversation starts. So yeah, we got 53, but it doesn't start in 53. So we're going to take it from Okay, so 45. I guess we can skim real quick to 45. 45, Isaiah 45. Thus said Yah to Cyrus, the anointed one. The reason why I want to bring this out is because when you look up Jesus' name and this, that, and the third, it says the anointed one. And people think that means something like, you know, like, oh, he's supposed to be the one. That's so, like he's supposed to be God or something. Like he's supposed to be my Father in heaven. Cyrus was anointed by the Most High, and he had nothing to do with the commandments. He was not even our people. The Most High gave him power though, because he had a plan. He had a plan. And it says, thus says Yah to Cyrus. When does it say, thus says Yah to Jesus, you are my anointed one? Even the wicked people from other kingdoms was visited by Yah and actually was spoken to by Yah, and it was actually recorded. So thus says Yah to Cyrus, the anointed one, having grasped his right hand, treading down nations before him, ungirding the loins of kings, opening doors before him, and letting no gate stay shut. I will march before you and level the hills that loom up. I will shatter doors of bronze and cut down iron bars. I will give you treasures concealed in the dark and secret hoards, so that you may know that it is I, the Eternal One, the Elohim of Israel, who call you by name. The reason for him even visiting is so that we can know who he is. So, for the sake of my servant Jacob, Israel, my chosen one, I call you by name. So he calls Cyrus and appoints him as the anointed one, gives him treasures in the dark, allows him to plunder nations and things of all sorts of things, for the sake of his servant Jacob, Israel, my chosen one. I call you by name, I hail you by title, though you have not known me. That's just proof right there that he had no knowledge of Yah beforehand, and he still was able to hear from Yah, was still being able to be used by Yah. Still a wicked leader, still a wicked ruler. So it doesn't matter. Okay, I am Yah, and there is none else. Besides me, there is no God. I engird you, though you have not known me, so that they may know from east to west that there is none but me. Since when the mission changed? To let it be known that it's two in one, three in the same, and all this other crap. When did the mission change, other than for everybody to know from east to west that there is none but Yah? That Yah is Elohim and there is no one else. Okay, so, reading beforehand and understanding what's happening is very important. I form light and create darkness. Verse 7, I make will and create woe. I, Yah, do all things. So you say, oh, he's just so beautiful. He's not going to do these things. That's why Jesus is there. And he's going to come down and he's going to do all these things. His robe is going to be drenched in blood. Yeah, because he bleeding. He dead. That's why. Because he did nothing. Anyways, pour down those skies from above. Let the heavens rain down victory. Let the earth open up and triumph sprout. Yes, let vindication spring up. I, Yah, have created it. Shame on anyone who argues with their maker. Yo, listen. If it was a child and a parent, and that child starts to argue with that parent, like, look at that child. So y'all must not know who y'all maker is. Jesus got you believing that he is your maker, that they one and the same. And they clearly existed in two different times. One exists and never ceased to exist, and one only existed from this point, from that to that point. Verse 9, shame on anyone who argues with their maker. Though not but a potsherd of earth, shall the clay say to the potter, what are you doing? Your work has no handles. So, anyone who argues with their maker, shame on anyone who argues with their maker, even though you only a potsherd of earth. You got the nerve to argue with your maker, you only a potsherd of earth. It's like, shall the clay, because that's what you are, say to the potter, what are you doing? Your work has no handles. The clay gonna look up, you're not doing it right. No. Shame on anyone who asks a father, what are you begetting? Or a woman, what are you bearing? That's crazy because they have all these gender reveal parties. Shame on anyone who asks a father, what are you begetting? Or a woman, what are you bearing? I think it's kind of obvious. A child. That's what's going on here. I got a child in here. It don't matter. Like, whether it's a boy or girl, I can't control that. Only the Most High knows. Meanwhile, pop it up. I just saw a video. That's why. And they had like airplanes and jets flying over just to say whether it was a boy or a girl. I was like, oh my goodness. Meanwhile, I was like, baby, you better be strong in there. Whatever you are. Because if Yah, anyways, it does says Yah, Israel, Holy One, and Maker. Will you question me on the destiny of my children? Will you instruct me about the work of my hands? Oh, will you question me of the destiny of my children? That's kind of like me and what I got going on with my baby. Are you kidding me? You don't add nor take away nothing over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about none of that. Y'all like, I had them from when they was in the womb. I know what I got going on with them. You wondering why that one is sick and I ain't heal them yet? You wonder why that one going through? Don't worry about none of that. I got them. It's lessons they need to learn. It's things I got going on. That's what I imagine. It was I who made the earth and created humankind upon it. My own hand stretched out the heavens, and I marshaled all their hosts. Marshalmen martial law, and they come in and they take everything you got, bring in new world order. He did that to all the hosts. He owns them all. All the birds, the bees, the trees, the humans, the grass, the leaves, the sun, the moon, the stars. He owns all of that. He martial lawed us. So don't be asking no questions about what y'all got going on with his children. You know what I'm saying? Like questioning him in a way of like, what are you doing? Like in that kind of way, instead of like, y'all please help me. I need to know what's going on. It's a demeanor. That's what I believe. It was Yah who aroused him for victory. And all who level all roads for him. He shall rebuild my city and let my exiled people go. He's talking about King Cyrus. So it was King Cyrus who let his people go in to rebuild the wall. Alright, so We were on verse 13. And let my exiled people go without price and without payment. Say Yah of hosts. Alright, so verse 14. Thus said Yah, Egypt's wealth and Cush gains, and I'm just gonna skim through. Shall pass over to you and be yours. 15. You are indeed a Elohim who hides in concealment, O Elohim of Israel who brings victory. 16. Those who fabricate idols are all shamed and disgraced. They slink away in disgrace together. 17. But Israel has won through Yah, triumph of everlasting. You shall not be shamed or disgraced in all the ages to come. This triumph in Yah, not in having no other Elohim beside him. Besides him. Beside him. Or besides him. 18. But thus says Yah, the creator of the heavens, who alone is Yah. Who alone is Yah? This stuff is right here. It's so crazy. Who formed the earth and made it. Who alone established it. Who did not create it a waste, but formed it for habitation. But y'all talking about leaving it. Y'all talking about getting raptured up and never being here again. He made it so that we can inhabit it. If he wanted us living in his house, that's what we would have been living. If y'all wanted us still living in his house, we would have been there. He kicked us out a long time ago. He was like, y'all gonna have to learn the hard way because y'all don't listen. I can't. It's not funny. It's just being able to see y'all's personality and how dope he is. It's like, anyways, hallelujah. So we were at verse 18. But formed it for an habitation, talking about the earth. He did not create it a waste, but formed it for an habitation. I am Yah, and there is no one else. There's none else. 19. I did not speak in secret at a sight in a land of darkness. I did not say to the stock of Jacob, seek me out in a wasteland. I, Yah, who foretell reliably, who announce what is true. He didn't say seek him in a wasteland. He gave us love first. He gave us a lot of things first. A lot of things first. It was just plain right there. And all of these gimmicks and things that society puts into play is what clouds everything that's sitting right in front of our face. And y'all allowing it to be so that we can learn. So that we won't be clouded anymore. When something else comes up trying to cloud us, we'll be like, oh, I see what that is. Okay, 20. Come, gather together, draw nigh, you remnants of the nation. No foreknowledge had they who carry their wooden images and pray to a God who cannot give success. So what is success? Success in this world is the American dream, having all this money, having a job, getting to the bag, this, that, and the third. So they feel like they have success because they're paid slaves. Slave is a slave, whether you pay me or not, I'm still a slave. And then on top of that, Yah said he gonna redeem us without money. So what we got going on? Anyways, speak up, compare testimony. 21. Speak up, compare testimony. Let them even take counsel together. Who announced this aforetime, foretold it of old? Did Jesus say any of this stuff of old? Y'all try to say, oh, he was prophesied about by Yah from old and this, and that. Well, okay, if Yah said from old, if y'all are validating Jesus based off of what Yah said before, and Jesus is sitting here saying that he's not going with what Yah said before, what are we doing? Y'all validating Jesus based off of what my father has said in the past. But then at the same time, y'all can't see that as Yah only based off of what my father has said in the past. See how they blind you right with the stuff right in your face? It's crazy. You should be mad. You should be annoyed, pissed off. Because this is what our father is saying. Speak up, compare testimony. Let them even take counsel together. Who announced this time foretold it of old? Was it not I, the eternal one? There's no God besides me. No God exists besides me, who foretells truly and grants success. Turn to me and gain success, all the ends of the earth. So we're like, oh, y'all act like he's only the Yah of Israel. Yeah, he is, but he's not. That's not to say that commandment keepers don't have a part on any of the other nations. Look, he appointed Cyrus. Cyrus didn't know nothing about him. I don't want to be used by Yah. I want to be consumed by Yah. Meaning in every way, shape, or form that he needs me, have me. I don't want to be used, tossed to the side. I want to be consumed to the point where I'm everything in with Yah. That's it. Okay, I said I was going to skim through. It's hard to skim through. 23. But by myself I have sworn, from my mouth I have issued truth, a word that shall not turn back. To me every knee shall bend. And then you got this Jesus character talking about some, oh yeah, every knee shall bow to you. Okay, though, because even when Yah comes, people gonna be swearing it's Jesus, calling him Jesus. That's gonna be the crazy part. Ooh. A word that shall not turn back. Oh, talk about, oh, you get away from me, you never knew me. That's gonna come back in your face like crazy. Oh my gosh. You're gonna be like, what? How I never knew? Yo. They be playing in our faces, y'all. Oh, okay. From my mouth have issued truth, a word that shall not turn back. To me every knee shall bend, every tongue swear loyalty. They shall say, only through Yah can I find victory and might. When people trust in Yah, all their adversaries are put to shame. I was in Jesus for a long time. I got into a lot of fights, a lot of situations, held up at gunpoint, niggas doing shit, a lot of shit. Excuse my language. People died in my family and everybody gathered together trying to pray in Jesus' name. Did they rise from the dead? Had me looking like, what is going on? But then when you get down to the nitty gritty of it and the truth of it all is that if we've been praising somebody else that ain't Yah, how can we even blame him for the things that happen when he warned us about them happening, for not praising him and him alone? That our children will be slain in the streets. That the plagues from Egypt will be brought upon us. It is through Yah that all the offspring of Israel have vindication and glory. The reason why there is any vindication, any success, anything positive is because of Yah. The reason why there is anything negative is because of not following Yah. Not listening to him, not keeping his commandments faithfully. And things that happen that seems as misfortune to other people, that may happen to the righteous that don't deserve it, that's because Yah's doing something mighty in their lives. He could even be using them as an example. He could be using them to prove a point to the accuser that's up there trying to say, that child, I bet you this, that, and the third, that child ain't gonna do right. Just like he did with Job. And y'all be like, all right, I bet you they will. I bet you they'll cry out even harder. I bet you they'll want me even more. So, yeah. Okay, so Isaiah 46. We're in chapter 46. Okay. I'm trying to skim through so that we can get who Yah is talking about, what he's talking about, what's going on, everything. So that when we pull up to Isaiah 53, we pull up with knowledge and understanding, prior knowledge and understanding of what is being talked about as a whole. So in 45, he talks about King Cyrus being the anointed one, allowing him to reign so that Yah's glory can go forth on behalf of his servant Jacob, so that we could rebuild Jerusalem's walls. And now we're going into 46. Bel is bowed, Nebo is cowering. So right now, so far, we're talking about Bel and Nebo. The images are a burden for beasts and cattle. First of all, how are their images a burden for the beasts and the cattle? That's how you know. The whole earth praises Yah. Even the beasts and cattle are like, oh my gosh, this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna lie. Yah told us that if we, keep these nations with their gods amongst us, that they will only be a snare for us. Even the cattle has to deal with that. Okay. The things you would carry in procession are now piled as a burden on tired beasts. Oh, that's how. Right. Oh my gosh. So these cities is low. They're cowering. And so that means that they're running and they're getting their stuff together so that they can run. And some of the stuff that they're getting is images of their gods, and they putting it on the backs of these animals, and it's heavy. Like, y'all taking all of that for no reason. They cowered, they bowed as well. Verse 2. They could not rescue the burden, and they themselves went into captivity. They couldn't even rescue the gods, because the burden is the gods that's on the backs. They couldn't even rescue the gods, and everybody went captive. Everybody in captivity. The people who loaded up all the gods on the backs of the donkeys, and the pictures of the gods is all in captivity. Verse 3. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, all that are left of the house of Israel, who have been carried since birth, supported since leaving the womb. Till you grow old, I will be the same. I'm sorry, y'all. I just get so giddy and stuff. Because remember that song from the other video? I don't even remember it. Music Soul Child song, as far as I love you till your head turns gray. It's like, as long as your love don't change. Yeah. Till you grow old, I will be the same. When you turn gray, it is I who will carry. I was the maker, and I will be the bearer, and I will carry and rescue you. Hallelujah. To whom can you compare me or declare me similar? What? I'll be honest with you. The way I always used to see my father was like big boss man. No matter what, he come through. He was the skinniest man that you probably ever seen. But when he step on the scene, oh, he's like the biggest dude in the room. You feel me? Boss man. You know what I'm saying? That's what they refer to him as soon as he walk in. Hey, boss. They already, like, they know. And that was the one thing I always, like, yeah, you know, looked up to. And Yah just fills those shoes for me so wonderfully, so perfectly, so triumphantly, so like, To whom can you compare me or declare me similar? He ain't like my dad. He do it better than my dad. You feel me? To whom can you liken me so that we seem comparable? You know, I can sit here and say all day, oh yeah, I remember my dad, this, that, and the third. It's nothing compared to the way Yah does it. And that's a fact. Let me go ahead and say that, because I can't compare it to the way you do it. How you step on the scene, how you don't never cowered away from helping, depending on who's in the room. You know, you don't fold. That's not what you do. Anyways. Six, those who squander gold from the purse and weigh out silver on the balance, they hire a metal worker to make it into a god, to which they bow down and prostrate themselves. So this is Yah getting into, if you didn't know what a pagan Elohim is and how they create it, I think this is where he gets into it. They squander gold, reminds me of the Crusades, from the purse, you know. They take money from the people, weigh out the silver on the balance. They hire a metal worker to make it into a god, which they bow down to and prostrate themselves. They must carry it on their backs and transport it. When they put it down, it stands. It does not budge from its place. If they cry out to it, it does not answer. It cannot save them from their distress. You're like, oh no, we don't worship a statue. That's because y'all ain't got enough money in the church to have no dang statue. The church that you got ain't even a church building. How about that? Did you ever think about that? If you actually had a building that was yours that you can call your own, I bet you Jesus' face be in there. Excuse my face, but y'all, the pastor's taking so much money for y'all that y'all can't even afford to hire somebody to make it, so that y'all can have a proper statue. And y'all go have weddings at these churches with statues and stuff like that. Let's not play these games. Y'all go get y'all Christians and all of that. Y'all go to a Catholic church and go get your baby baptized, christened, and say you ain't Christians. Let's stop playing. Anyways, I had to go off real quick. Probably think I'm crazy. Oh well. Keep this in mind and stand firm. Take this to heart, you sinners. So Jesus tells all of us that we sinners, right? But when this word is brought up right here, what is it in reference to? Those same people who make gods out of either money. Is it money? They make gods out of money, gold, out of the things that Yah has placed on this earth. The substances, the materials, the matter that Yah has placed here. You take those things from other people that Yah has given it to and make these Elohims and bow down to them. This is what this is talking about when it says, keep this in mind, stand firm, take this to heart, you sinners. So what makes you a sinner first? Worshiping another Elohim that ain't Yah. So that's why I tell you the okie doke with this whole church thing. is that they laughing in your face. They laughing while they know you going to hell. They are sacrificing you. You coming into agreement every Sunday and this, that, and the third. That's keeping that contract good and alive and healthy. That membership. 46 verse 9. Bear in mind what happened of old, for I am Yah, and there is none else. I am divine, and there is none like me. Oh, yeah, you are. I foretell the end from the beginning. And from the start, things that had not occurred. I say, my plan shall be fulfilled. I will do all I have purposed. I summon that swooping bird from the east, from a distant land, the man for my purpose. I have spoken, so I will bring it to pass. I have designed it, so I will complete it. From a distant land. That's Cyprus. Shoot, that could even be what? Nebuchadnezzar? He was from a distant land. But right here, you remember we was talking about Cyprus. Alright, so I had to gloss them up a little bit. Okay. Listen to me, you stubborn of heart, who are far from victory. I am bringing my victory close. It shall not be far, and my triumph shall not be delayed. I will grant triumph in Zion to Israel, in whom I glory. That's self-explanatory. Isaiah 47. So now, we in 47. Get down, sit in the dust, fair maiden Babylon. Sit dethroned on the ground, O fair Chaldea. Nevermore shall they call you the tender and dainty one. So we go on to chapter 47, and we see that Yah is talking about who? Now it has switched. He's talking about fair maiden back, because the other one was telling us how Nebo was bowed low and cowering, and he also still spoke of King Cyrus, who he brought from afar to use for his glory, for his purpose that he's going to bring forth. Now we in 47, where he's talking to the Chaldeans and Babylon. Said, nevermore shall they call you the tender and dainty one. 2, grasp the hand mill and the grind mill, remove your veil, strip off your train, bare your leg, wade through the rivers. So obviously this is somebody, this nation has on beautiful garments. They have on a wedding dress, perhaps. Remove your veil, take your train off. It's over. Get in the water. You might as well start running. Let me stop. Go ahead and wade that water like you told my kids to wade in the water. Sorry. Your nakedness shall be uncovered, and your shame shall be exposed. I will take vengeance and let no one intercede. It's gonna go down, and ain't gonna be nobody to help you. You might as well get ready to wade the water. Didn't it go down for us? Wasn't nobody there to help us, and we had to get in there and wade that water. I'm so sorry for laughing, y'all. 47 verse 4. Our Redeemer, whose name is Yah of hosts, is the Holy One of Israel. Sit silent, retire in the darkness, O fair Chaldea. Yeah. Help me to stop laughing. Nevermore shall they call you mistress of kingdoms. Meaning everybody want them. Everybody from all the kingdoms want this particular, the Chaldeans. But that's not gonna be the case no more, is what's being said. I was angry at my people. Dang, I want to cry now. Dang, y'all, when I asked to stop laughing, I didn't want to start crying. Oh, I'm sorry. This is why the Most High is the realest. You feel me? I was angry at my people. I defiled my heritage. I put them into your hands, but you showed them no mercy. Even upon the age, you made your yoke exceedingly heavy. Yah's like, yeah, I was mad. I allowed you to be rulers over them. It's just that you in turn showed no mercy. You was real. Y'all went off on them. And the only reason why, what's that, Chaldea is looked at as the fair one, Chaldea and Babylon and all the kingdoms want them, it's because y'all was angry with us. Seven, you thought, when he says you thought, he's talking about Chaldea and them. You thought, I shall always be the mistress still. You did not take these things to heart. You gave no thought to the end of it. You didn't take to heart that the only reason why this is happening is because y'all is angry with his people. You didn't even take to heart on whose people you was dealing with, whose people you was doing all this stuff to. And now hear this, O pampered one. Who dwell in security. Who think to yourself, I am, and there's none but me. I shall not become a widow, or no loss of children. These two shall come upon you suddenly in one day. He's talking about Chaldea and fair Babylon. You think you good, you think you safe, and that you the only one, you got all the power, and ain't nothing gonna happen to you, that you ain't gonna suffer nothing, that you just gonna get raptured up. These two things shall come upon you suddenly in one day. Loss of children and widowhood shall come upon you in full measure. Despite your many enchantments and all your countless spells. So if y'all didn't believe that people do spells and do wicked stuff like this, here you go right here. Yah says, but despite all of your enchantments and wickets and countless spells, you gonna feel every last bit of the wrath and passion that the Most High have. There ain't nothing can stop it. You were secure in your wickedness. I know we all been there. Something like, I don't know. I don't think I've been there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've ever been here. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I've been in a lot of situations where I would have to try to turn off that feeling of somebody's watching me or this don't feel right. I would have to try to turn off my consciousness, try to turn off wisdom. And it would not work. Because guess what? Y'all martial law me. It's a new world order with y'all here. Be like, cut everything, just goes, just not even a second. Y'all be like, didn't I take it? Or you like, oh. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry for that laugh just now. Oh. So, evil is coming upon you that you will not know how to charm away. Ooh. You can't charm this evil away. Y'all's evil ain't like no evil you ever experienced, baby. You can't charm it away. You can't chant it. You can't do all that hoopla. You can't card read it. You can't do nothing with it. It's just gonna happen, baby. It's going down. Disaster is falling upon you that you will not be able to appease. Coming upon you suddenly is ruin of which you know nothing. Nothing. Yeah, I get them. And allow me to be humble in all ways and always be pleasing to you, y'all. Hallelujah. Ruining what you knew nothing of. You don't know nothing about this wrath that y'all's gonna bring down. Ain't no chance, ain't nothing you could do. Stand up with your spells and your many enchantments on which you labored since youth. Oh my, y'all is telling us that these people, they've been witches since they've been born. Let me stop. But since they were little, they've been dealing in this witchcraftery. Stand up with your spells and your enchantments on which you labored since youth. You worked on these things since you was born. Getting over on people, doing spells on people, doing all this crazy stuff. Yah says none of that is going to be able to prevail on his day. None of it. None of it. Not a little bit of it. Not nan bit. You ain't going to know what to do. You're going to be like, that's too much sauce. Y'all going to come down. It's going to be too much sauce for some of y'all. That's too much for all of us, really. It's just, I think everybody's experience is going to be a little bit different. Perhaps you'll be able to profit. Perhaps you'll be able to find strength. He like, you could try. Stand up. Matter of fact, let me see you perform your enchantments that you've been working on since youth. And maybe you'll be able to profit. Maybe, perhaps, you'll find strength. Then, Yah goes on to say in 13, you are helpless. You are helpless despite all your art. Let them stand up and help you now. First of all, he said you are helpless despite all your art. He's calling that God's art. That ain't nothing but a piece of art. That ain't nothing but a painting. That's just Picasso. That ain't nothing. What's that gonna do? Isn't that the same thing that they say to us who worship y'all? Let's see. Oh, not even God can save them. And we don't even be thinking to say none of these things to nobody. Because guess what? Y'all already said it. He got it handled. We ain't got to worry about feeling those feelings. He says to them, you are helpless despite all your art. All your little enchants, that's just art. You just putting on a show, baby. Let them stand up and help you now. The scanners of heaven, the stargazers, who announce month by month whatever will come upon you. So now we are clear on exactly who we're talking about. Those fortune tellers, those readers, those card readers and stuff like that, and try to tell you what's going on. The scanners of heaven, the stargazers. See, they are become like straw. Fire consumes them. They cannot save themselves. From the power of the flame, there is no coal for warming oneself, no fire to sit by. So, they have become like straw. Fire consumes them. So, in the process of fire consuming them, they can't save themselves from the flame. Then it says, this is no coal for warming oneself, no fire to sit by. Meaning that this flame, this ain't something you be like, ooh, let's warm up by the fire. This probably like that oven that Nebuchadnezzar had. That hot oven. Who saved them out the oven? Was it Meshach, and Abednego? And all of them? It wasn't Jesus. It was Yah. He sent the angel of him, one of his minions, one of his many that does his bidding, his angels, to stand in with them. That's how they made it out. Now here it is. There's a whole nother furnace that's made, but made by Yah. You can't save yourself. You can't even save yourself, let alone calling on your art. Yeah, I love you. Okay. 15. This is what they have profited you. The traitors you dealt with since youth. They have all wandered off in separate paths. There is none to save you. It says traitors, not traitors. So people you've been trading things with, people who've been, probably standing behind whatever they're selling, their product. They're nowhere to be found. Who told you this will work? Who told you that Jesus is the way? When the time come and that fire is ready to consume, they ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. Okay, 48. Listen to this, O house of Jacob, who bear the name Israel. So now in 48, he's talking to who? Us. Now, this is probably going to be hard to bear because he don't be playing. Listen to this, O house of Jacob, who bear the name Israel, and have issued from the waters of Judah. That's how you know. Who swear by the name of Yah and invoke the Elohim of Israel, though not in truth and sincerity. So he like, the house of Jacob, y'all invoke the name of Yah, y'all invoke me, you're just not in truth and sincerity. Y'all not doing it with your whole heart. Yah, I pray that's not me. I ain't got time. 2, for you are called after the holy city. So that's how we know. We got a lot of names. We got a lot of names. You think about a child growing up in a household, call them boo-boo, baby, BB, whatever, all these little names You know, we have what? The branch of Jesse, the rod of Jesse, servants, Israel, house of Israel. We're called after the holy city. That means Zion, or Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a lot of names. But anyway, so too, for you are called after the holy city, and you do not lean on Yah of Israel, whose name is Elohim of hosts. So that's your name. Ehyeh, Ehyeh, Elohim of hosts, Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we're not leaning on you. And I wasn't at one point, y'all. I was leaning on other gods. Then I was leaning on myself. Then I was leaning on the people that you had placed in my life. You know, I had to really step it up. Long ago, I foretold things that happened. From my mouth they issued, and I announced them. Suddenly, I acted, and they came to pass. Because I know how stubborn you are, your neck is like an iron sinew, and your forehead bronze, meaning it's a hard forehead. Therefore, I told you long beforehand. He like, that's why I told y'all all of this way before. That's why I told y'all in the commandments, if you don't keep my laws, statutes, commandments, you're going to be going to cities and worshiping gods that you and your ancestors never known. But if while you're there, you seek me with all your heart, you will find me and I will save you from there. That's why he said all these things from before, because he already knew we just a thick-headed, stiff-necked people that is just going to act like nobody ever said nothing. Therefore, I told you long beforehand. This is 5. Announce things to you ere they happened, that you might not say, my idol caused them. My carved in molten images ordained them. He like, I said all this stuff so that you can't sit here and act like somebody else did it. You have heard all of this. Look, must you not acknowledge it? You heard all of this and you're not going to acknowledge what you heard. You ain't going to acknowledge the truth. You're not going to acknowledge the truth. As of now, I announce to you new things. Well-guarded secrets you did not know. Only now are they created and not of old. Before today, you had not heard them. You cannot say, I knew them already. You had never heard. You had never known. Your ears were not open of old. That's a whole fact. Definitely wasn't. Though I know that you are treacherous, that you were called a rebel from birth. For the sake of my name, I control my wrath. Just like Moses and in the wilderness, Moses was like, yeah, please. Just calm down, please. It's going to backtrack everything. The people over in Egypt is going to say that you not as mighty as you said you was. You just brought them out there to kill them. They going to feel like they got the upper hand. Yeah, I was like, all right. Right. So he said, for the sake of my name, I control my wrath. He like, I control it because of my name. And that's proof. That was the scripture that I went over in the other video. To my own glory, I'm patient with you, my Yah. I love you so much. And I will not destroy you. He's talking to us who seek him but not in truth and sincerity, who call on his name but not in truth and sincerity. Like you ain't, your ears wasn't open for you, your eyes was open for you. You wasn't able to see the things and hear the things that I got going on right now. And I'm not going to hold that against you. And the reason why I'm not going to hold that against you is because my name, I attach my name to you. Therefore, me controlling my wrath is for the sake of my own name. So that nobody looks at me and says, I'm not who I said I was. See, I refine you. Like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to do none of that. I am going to refine you. You're going to learn today. But not as silver. I test you in the furnace of affliction. So, I haven't looked up a word this whole time. That's weird. These are one of those books that I really dug into. And it's like I had to keep going over, take my time. I should have went to Google. I knew better than that. Bing doesn't give me the list that I like. What was I looking up? Affliction. Affliction, baby. So, he tests us with affliction. So what is affliction? Bitterness, sorrow, misery, hardship. He tests us with hardship. He tests us with torment. He tests us with torture. He tests us with disease. He tests us with pains. He tests us with aches. He tests us with evil. He tests us with accidents. He tests us with trouble. He tests us with affliction. He tests us with suffering. He tests us with mishap. So as we were talking before, with Job and them, how they were like, Job, you must have done something wrong in order to be going through what you're going through. Just like my life. You don't follow Jesus. That's probably why you can't get a job. That's probably why you don't have the resources like everybody else. It's because you only worship Yah and not Jesus. That's probably why this is happening to you, because you turned away from a man-made religion. Oh, it is? Because my father said that that's how he tests me. When things don't work out, people start coming at me. When evil comes up, that's my time to shine and show who I praise, who I call on. That's my time to build my faith. And possibly the faith of the others around me, looking at me like, oh, she's not looking too good. Next thing you know, y'all come and swoop in and save me. Like, there is a God. Yes, there is. And his name is Yah. Yah alone, baby. Okay. So, he tests us in the furnace of affliction. For my sake, my own sake, do I act, lest my name be dishonored. What happens when you go to school and I remember you get in trouble and your parents will say, you're a reflection of me. How you carry on in school is a reflection of what must be going on in this household. Do I raise you to curse and carry on? No, ma'am. But now you got them teachers thinking that's what I do up in here, though. That's not what I do up in here. And you know, this right here, for me, goes into like the purification thing. Like making sure, trying my best. Oh my gosh. Trying my best to make sure that the things that I'm doing also is a reflection. Knowing that the things that I'm doing is also a reflection of Yah. So trying to be mindful of those things as well. And voicing the things that I may not see as like truly the right way to go or this, that, and the third. And letting people know like I'm still a work in progress. It's just that I give it all to Yah. You know, not bringing it unto them like, oh, I'm untouchable no matter what I do. Da, 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 da. No, just if I end up doing something and it ends up being something that the Most High doesn't like, I pray that He just takes it out of my hand. He takes it away from me without me having to go through this crazy lesson in order to get it. That's what I always pray. Because, look, I test you in the furnace of affliction. Yeah, I be praying, y'all, please don't allow me to have to go through what Job went through in order to get it. Don't allow me to go through what Job went through in order for the accuser to get it. That I love you, y'all. Please, y'all know. Before all of that, just let me be with you. Let me ride off in the wind like Enoch with you. Like, before we do all that, please. I'm not about to sit here and act like, yeah, I'm chesting. I count it all joy. No. I'm not counting it all joy. What I am doing is not allowing it to fester and make me upset and angry because these things are happening to me. I'm able to take accountability for the things that's happened. I'm able to see like, okay, well, I need to grow in this area, even though there's something happened. Oh, wow. At least that was able to help me to grow in this area. Well, dang, in that area, yeah, that might have been bad. Something that happened to me. But I remember there was a time before where I would have reacted like that. So now I know why not reacting like that, going further and continue not to move in that way is going to help me. Just the mindset. Listen to me, O Jacob, Israel, whom I have called. I am the one. I am the first. I am the last as well. There go 3 spots accounted for. The one, the first, and the last. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, He said He all of them. It's Him, period. The one, He's the first, and He the last. My own hand founded the earth. My right hand spread out the skies. I call unto them, let them stand up. Assemble all of you and listen. Who among you foretold these things? He whom Yah loves shall work the divine will against Babylon, and with the divine might against Chaldea. Let me read that again. Assemble all of you and listen. Who among you foretold these things? Quotation mark. He whom God loves shall work the divine will against Babylon, and with divine might against Chaldea, because there's a question mark. I predicted, and I called him. I have bought him, and he shall succeed in his mission. It's a question. Is it King Cyrus who's doing all these things? No. I predicted and I called him. I have brought him and he shall succeed on his mission. Draw near to me and hear this. From the beginning, I did not speak in secret. From the time anything existed, I was there. And now the servant Elohim has sent me, endowed with divine spirit. Thus says Yah, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I, the Eternal One, who am your Elohim, instructing you for your own benefit, guiding you in the way you should go. So, when it says, and now the sovereign Elohim has sent me and died with his divine spirit, that's Isaiah, because it's a quotation. That's Isaiah right there talking, saying, and now the sovereign Elohim has sent me and died with the divine spirit. Thus says Yah, your Redeemer. This is Isaiah talking. The Holy One of Israel. I, the Eternal One, am your Elohim, instructing you for your own benefit, guiding you in the way you should go. If only you would heed my commands, then your prosperity would be like a river, your triumph like the waves of sea. Your offspring will be as many as the sands, their issue as many as its grains. Their name will never be cut off or obliterated from before me. Go forth from Babylon, flee from Chaldea. Declare this with loud shouting. Announce this. Bring out the word to the ends of the earth, says Yah. Bring out the word to the ends of the earth. Say, Yah has redeemed Jacob, Yah's servant. They have known no thirst, though they were led through parched places. Yah made water flow for them from the rock, cleaving the rock so that water gushed forth. We know that Moses was there doing this. Who gets the glory? Yah. Hallelujah. There's no safety, say Yah, for the wicked. 49. It's getting, I might have to do 2 parts to this video, just separate it. So I might have to do, because the other one is like 30 minutes long.